Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. An important trend in pop music right now is melodies that live on extensions of a chord, sevenths, ninths, even suspensions that never resolve. Ordinary triads don't support those kinds of melodies very well, but there's a trick we can use, building our chords not in thirds, but in fourths. Let's take a look at it today. We've been looking at using modal offset to create melodies that live in slightly different parts of ordinary chord progressions. And I thought to myself, well, ordinary chord progressions have these chord building blocks that are conceived of mostly in thirds. In fact, if you're like me, you were probably taught to build your chords this way. Here's a root, a nice low C, and another root C, and then we're going to build our chords by stacking thirds on top of that. So if I play them all together, a nice solid, what we call C major, because it has a major third, 7 because it has a major 7, C major 7. There are chord qualities that derive directly from this construction technique. The second note from the bottom is the third, and it determines whether the chord is major or minor. The top note is the seventh, and it really, in relationship to the third, determines a lot about the chord as well. We say the third is a determining quality, and the seventh is determining color, is sort of the word that I like to use. In any case, a minor 7 chord sounds different from a major 7 chord, and the dominant chord with a major third and a minor 7 sounds different from all of them. Well, that's nice. That means that every chord has specific notes in it. Here's my C, and here's my 7th B. Here's my 3rd E. And if you look at that, if I play them together, those two notes are a fourth apart, a perfect fourth. A perfect fourth has a very specific intervallic identity. And in fact, we can build perfect fourths in stacks. Another perfect fourth on top of the E is A. Another perfect fourth on top of the A is D. I'm going to play them all together. Perfect fourths have an ambiguous sound. They feel a little bit like they're sus chords waiting to resolve. I don't know about you, but when I hear this, I want something to happen like that. My ear just wants things to resolve. However, we know that chord cycles as they appear in pop music don't necessarily resolve. They propel, they move us forward. So here's my question. Can we reorganize our stack of thirds in a chord progression into a stack of fourths that will give us better support for those new melodies that we're hearing in pop music so much right now? Let's try this chord progression. 6, that's A minor. 4, that's F. 1, that's G. 5. And I've organized those chords in basically stacks of thirds. Now, I voiced the chords smoothly, but I'm still conceiving them as stacks of thirds. But it's not the only way to do it. Look at this solution. It's a whole different world. I'm going to do it slowly, and then we'll listen to it again. So here's my A chord, a stack of fourths, E, A, D. Here's my F chord, a stack of fourths, E, A, D. Here's my C chord, a stack of fourths, B, E, A. Here's my G chord, a stack of fourths, B, E, A. Now, the stack of fourths is ambiguous, and yet it contains important notes in the chord. The A minor chord, there's our A root, has a 5th, a root, and an 11th. Now, exactly those same notes, when we apply it to the F chord, we've got a 7th, a 3rd, and a 6th. Sounds great. Goes very smoothly between the two. I built the minor 7 chord off the 5th. I built the F chord as a major 7th chord off the 7th. Well, applying the same rule to the C chord, I'm going to build the C chord off the 7th. So I have a 7th, a 3rd, and a 6th. And now it's time for the G chord, and I can stay right where I am. There's my G, and I'm going to build it off the 3rd. I get a 6th and a 9th. F, A minor, C, G in that context, with, as you heard, a little bit of figuration in the instrumental form. It's a powerful approach. I get a great effect that way. Now, stacks of fourths give you the same notes that, are important in any stack of thirds type version of a chord, but they're a little spicier. Now, I'll just add one last thing, and this is me. I always go a little bit too far. If you're a player and you want to try fiddling around with this, consider the idea that those parallel fourths may sometimes go out of key if you keep them chromatic. This is a perfect fourth stack. This is a perfect fourth stack, but this is not, because of the tritone there. If I wanted to turn this into a perfect fourth stack, it would have to be like so, and suddenly I'm out of key. The B flat is not in the key of C. However, it can be a very strong sound. The motion, the parallel motion, we talked about coupling really quite recently. The parallel motion of those fourths creates this beautiful sonority, and it's not terrifically hard to do. We're only talking about 3 notes, and it's usually easy to see fourths. Gee, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe and ding the bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos, and I'll see you next time.